What's up? This is Draco.
And this is Alicia.
And you're now tuned in to OD
OD
Podcast.
Podcast. Period. Hey y'all, welcome to another episode of OD Podcast. I was not feeling very well last week, y'all. I have since I was a kid, I have always had chronic migraines, and lately they have really been in full fledged to the point where my doctor has asked me to keep a journal of them, and so I have been keeping the journal since like February, January, and
Of this
it's
year?
get yeah, this year, and I mind you, I've been having them since I was younger, but it's just gotten really bad. Now I was on birth control for a while, and that also contributed to migraines, but I got off because I was having some issues with it, for a lack of better terms, and and I was like, okay, well, let me just see if they go away. Nothing really changed, so I'm getting back on birth control because they're trying to ban abortions, and I'm just gonna try to. Y'all just hope that it's nothing too crazy. Like I said, I've been dealing with it since I was a child, but it's been so bad. It's been literally debilitating. I can't even do nothing. So last week it just was not even an option. I can't even lie, and I've been super tired driving back and forth. It's just been a lot. So anyway, now that that's out the way, welcome to another episode of OD Podcast. All right, how you been?
I've been amazing. I've been celebrating my birthday for it seemed like 2 weeks, child, but yeah. It's over now. I'm back to work.
How was your
Yeah.
birthday? Cause I'm like, now he had a party. He didn't even say he was gonna do something. How you not even want to
That
come to
was
LA?
that was so last minute. Let me tell you. So
What
my
house y'all was
friend,
at?
I'm about to tell you if you allow me. Um so I ended up finding this app and it was like it's called Swimply. I don't know if you ever heard of it. So
Oh,
Swimp
no, but I know by the name of it. I've seen similar apps for what you about to say.
Yeah, so you just basically rent people's pool. You don't rent the house, so you don't go in the house. You just rent their pool. You can add on stuff like heating to the water, grills, anything. So the lady was very accommodating. Like she was very cool. I was a little nervous because I'm so used to having parties in Atlanta and they get shut down. But these are specifically made for having parties, and then people are renting them out from their homes. So they usually have like private areas. I will be doing that again. It was very cheap. It was $50 an hour.
Man, you know what? You can literally make money off anything. So when you said that right away, like I said, I figured that's what it was because there is an app, and I have to find a TikTok where you can book private space to walk your dog. Like, let's say you don't like where I live. I don't have a backyard, and let's say one day I just want to take my dog and just have her run around freely without going to a dog park. And you can reserve free space that people have. It could be somebody's backyard. It could be some wooded space that people own the land to. It could be anything. It could be literally anything, and you can rent it privately, and it's around that price, like $20, $30 an hour or a day, or depending on however long you accommodate it for. I mean, you book it for. And then I saw one where people can rent out parking spaces. So if you want to rent out your garage or your driveway or your curb or literally anything, I think that's kind of fire. Like we really is in gig economy, and I'm here for it. Make money by
Yeah,
any means necessary.
nah, for real.
Cause think
I
about it, it's like you shouldn't have to go to a hotel to get a pool. Why you can't?
no.
If they got a pool that they not using, that's kind of fire.
I mean, her pool was so nice. I'm gonna send you the pool I got.
It
Like,
looked
send
like
you
y'all was
the
in
picture.
Dominican Republic or something. Because the
It
way
did. So it was. So her. She said she said she did it like Moroccan style. So that was like. I mean, it was so fine.
yeah,
So
it
I
looked
did
cute.
that. Went to dinner and then went to brunch on Sunday, and then we went to a little day party. But yeah, now it's back to work. I went back to work this morning, so back to reality,
Yeah.
which
Well,
I
as
don't
long as
mind.
do you feel like you enjoyed yourself the way you wanted to?
Yeah, I do. I do still feel like I need a vacation. I ain't gonna lie.
Did you buy some hookah tips?
I actually did.
Oh, was
I actually brought hookah coals. That's
oh
what I
my
brought.
god. Well, there you go. That was my gift.
I appreciate you. I literally bought that though for real. Why you playing?
Anyways, man, I've been super busy, y'all. I officially listed my property for rent, and I have, have
Period.
had some really good. I've had some good traction. I can't lie. Now, I've been very intentional about the type of people that I want to rent to, because I want to be more helpful than making money. So and I don't, without telling too much of my business. So I'm doing some tours this week, and I got some people that I've been consistently communicating with, and they seem pretty serious. So and if they're not, it's no pressure. They don't have to rent from me if they don't want to. But I just want to make sure I am a good resource for them, and I'm not hitting people over the head. I try to make sure I was not necessarily cheaper than the competition, but cheaper than some of the more expensive options. I think I'm asking for something very fair and realistic in the grand scheme of it. I'm not looking to get rich necessarily, but I am looking to, benefit from my investment. So, yeah,
Why
now
you ain't
let's see.
looking to get rich?
Well, I mean, I'm looking to get rich, but not off of these people, off of them solely.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'll
but you
still. I
just
mean,
I feel what you're saying.
it's passive income, but I don't want to be like like how rent is in Atlanta and stuff like that. People really are charging crazy numbers, and they get away with it because other people are charging crazy numbers. So basically, I just feel like I'm asking for something fair. That's all.
Yeah, no, I feel it.
Yeah. So anyhow, so that's what's going on. So hopefully these young ladies, decide to rent my property. If not, it's no big deal. But I do appreciate them anyway. So that's what's going on. I really, really, really want a new car.
Oh my god, that was finna be my next thing. I want a new car.
Really, I want a Porsche
Yeah.
Macan so bad, and I'm gonna
So you
get
done
one.
with the Benz already?
I'm not, it's not that I'm done with it, but yes. So okay, I got rear-ended recently, and so I'm taking it in for repair on next week after next, and I am actually using Turo to rent out a Porsche Macan so I can kind of test drive it. And I know for sure after that I'm gonna be like, all right, y'all can keep that Benz. Let me get my Porsche truck. But they actually have an electric version that's supposed to be coming out next year, and so I'm gonna try to wait for that. But I'm just worried because I know that the electric version is gonna be very expensive, and I'm not the type of person that's trying to spend no 100 grand on no car like that. I think that's very wild. At least for somebody like me, I'm not even trying to spend. I mean, for me, I was gonna get a certified pre-owned one, which would have been less than $60,000. So I feel like if I'm gonna get the electric one, I'm gonna have to wait till 2024 when the pre-owned versions come out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really want a Porsche Macan. I think because I don't like big trucks, and a Macan is still small enough to be a truck, but also comparable in navigation to like a sedan or a coupe or something like that. So
I've been
anyway,
looking.
I'm renting out a 2021 for a week.
You
Week
already
after
got
next.
it or no?
No, I reserved it for when I drop my car off.
Okay.
I'm gonna drop my car off, then I'm gonna go get it, and then I'm gonna I'm gonna have it. It'll be after the holiday.
Period.
So yeah,
I
that's what's been on my mind.
I've been thinking about getting a new car. I really want a truck, and so I've been looking up trucks. And I don't know if you remember, like last year, I ended up reserving GLA, and so I was like, I don't think I like this. Like I don't think I
Really?
need it. I mean, I look at stuff like that as like baby mama cars, like people with
What would
kids.
that mean? Because I think my Mercedes is a baby mama Benz.
It's not. It's not. It's not. It's not. That's
That's what they
definitely
say
not.
about them CLAs. That's like the baddie starter pack.
Yeah. I don't know. It just give me. It don't give me like a grown man should be driving that, or at least
Yeah,
me. Let me
I know
put
what you mean.
that.
When I see Benz trucks, I think of family cars. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, it give me like a family car. Like I don't got no kids. It
Yeah,
just look like that. It just give me
it's
that
nice
vibe.
though,
So
but I agree. That's why I like the Porsche truck because I think it's super sexy and it's like Porsche is just that girl. It's just
I don't.
nice.
I ain't never seen a Porsche truck I would like. I like. I used to want a Maserati, but no.
I used to want an Audi truck too, but I don't love how Audis look on the inside. But I mean, this is first. I really don't. And this is a bad time to buy a car, so I'm not in a rush. But I do want, when I am ready, I just hope that I have enough saved up to where my car note is not looking like my mortgage. Because I think that there is a such thing as spending too much money on a car, and I ain't even got no garage. So why, you know what I'm saying? I just gotta, do what's smart. But
Yeah.
anyway, all right, let's get into this week's episode. Who do you have for your Black Bins of the week?
Um. I ain't even say what car I wanted.
Oh, what car you? I'm sorry. Was it the Jeep?
Hell no. So I don't want
Ooh,
that. I don't want no Jeep no more.
ooh.
The inside is not updated enough for me. I ain't, I can't
Well,
do it.
Jeeps are classic. Just like the Macan, a
I
lot of
respect
Macans
it.
look the same.
I respect it. I like even with my car now, like my digital dash is like way better than that. So I'm like,
Yeah.
let me just keep up that. But I think I want a G wagon. I started looking it up today, and I'm like,
Oh.
maybe
G Wagons ain't that fire on the inside either. And ain't got no
they far
space.
enough.
They are fire. Don't get it wrong. Don't get well you can that go your business. That's a business car.
Yeah. So y'all be on the lookout. Fingers
You think
crossed.
gas high. What happened to one electric car? I feel it. Listen, I used to want a Tesla bad, but I do not like how they look. So F it.
I'm starting to not like it as more as I like when I drive. I see it every 3 seconds being in LA, but
Yeah, that's
it's
not for me.
like I don't want that car no
It's
more.
a very fire car. The technology is great, but the to get a sexy one or the sexiest one, it's really expensive. The price of my Macan, so I might as well get a Macan.
I didn't know. I never thought G wagons was ugly. I just thought they was loud. I don't like loud cars, so
Oh,
I'm gonna just have to deal with it. Cause that's only. I mean,
okay.
it look cute. It fits me.
It is a
Feel
cute
like
car.
it's a it's a nice car. It's not that spacious, but it's cute. I like it.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
if
go
I mean
for
it
it.
ain't forever. If I want another one, I'll get another one. So
Period. I
that's
know
where
that's
I'm at
right,
in life right now.
Draco.
But okay, so Black Pins of the Week. Let me see. It is my friend. I met him through Instagram. His name is Naeem Fareed, and he owns a clothing line. The clothing line is called Nan Couture, Nan, which
I
is
know
so
that's right.
funny. But
Nah,
yeah, cause it's so funny because it's a page on Instagram.
it ain't that.
It ain't Nan, but I'll be messing with him about it. But no, so Nan actually stands for neglect after negative. I think that's what
Okay,
it
that's
stands for.
deep.
Yeah. So he's Atlanta. He's from Atlanta, born and raised. I think, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know what part, so don't get me wrong. I don't know if he actually
Okay, because
from Atlanta
Umbrella
or
is
from here.
around the corner waiting.
But yeah, I think his stuff is real cool. He does have women's and men's clothes, so he does like swimsuits for girls, and he has like real cool stuff for men, which is different because I think for the most part when I look for brands that I like, they only cater to one or the other. And if they do cater to both, it's like cheap looking stuff, and I feel like his stuff is like really good quality and it's creative. Let me send it to you so you can see it.
Yeah, I ain't Okay, let me check it out now. If I see something I like.
So yeah, like he has like outerwear,
Oh,
so
this is
like hoodies,
cool. Oh,
jackets.
not the free thug with that little boy on. Okay.
We're gonna get into that a little later. Um, but yeah, he's pretty cool. His
This
personal
is
style is
very
actually
unique though. I
pretty cool.
like it.
Yeah, that's why I like it too, because I feel
Picasso,
like
I
it's
like it.
something on there that I don't never see all the time.
Yes, it ain't
So check
man.
him out. His Instagram is Nan Couture.
All right. As
Website is
always, we're gonna put
neglectnegative.com.
all right. And we're gonna put everything in the episode notes. And let's move on to shop talk.
Period.
Man, so much has happened since the last time we recorded.
Mm,
Um, first things first, let's talk about Kevin Samuels passing away.
okay.
So when it first happened, y'all, I thought that the social media always killing folks. They always said starting a rumor saying somebody died. So I was like,
Ain't no
not
way.
that no one is exempt from death, but I feel like sometimes when people pass, you expect it to be somebody older, somebody who was sick or something like that. And I just feel like we hadn't seen Kevin Samuels for that many years for me to be like, oh, okay, maybe he. That's a weird way of thinking, but
Yeah.
I just feel
And
like
then
he's
he
kind of
didn't look.
missing.
He was well kept. He
Yeah, so you just didn't
looked
think like
decent.
obviously like when you think about Kobe Bryant, I was like, this ain't right. This don't make no sense. Like, how are you sure? You know what I'm saying? So anyway, yeah. Long story short, guys. As you already know, Kevin Samuels did pass away from what appeared to be a heart attack, and it was a very interesting scene on social media. I don't know if I've ever seen people's death celebrated so widely like that. Like it was
Yeah,
very odd.
it was very weird. I mean, I think I'm very traditional when it comes to stuff. Like, I don't talk about dead people, and I don't even if I mean if it was Hitler, that's different. Osama bin Laden, different. However, comma, I don't think the stuff that he did was that bad. Where I could just sit and celebrate his death. I think people are just weird for that.
Yeah, and I understand. Okay, so I do think that Kevin Samuels had a very direct and maybe sometimes rude way of conveying his message, but I actually liked him, and I used to agree with a lot of
Really?
stuff he
I
said.
didn't
Yes.
expect you to say that.
Yeah, I did like him because a lot of stuff. So this is how I feel about a lot of things, especially when it comes to relationships. I feel like a lot of people want a fairy tale when they don't even have a fairy tale to offer. So they tend to have improper expectations when they're looking for a partner. They want a whole lot, but they don't have that. They haven't really earned it. And in Twitter world, they might call that pick me talk, but I do think that people have unrealistic expectations when it comes to dating. And the reason why they continue to have the same results is because they don't realize what the problem is. And the problem is them a lot of times. Like, you have a lot of baggage. You are searching for somebody to take care of you. You haven't really established yourself as a responsible, independent human being. You got a lot of kids. You don't know how to dress. You sloppy. You stay with your parents. Like, and all those things are okay if you're looking for somebody in that same wheelhouse. But a lot of people that will call into his show wanted a savior. They wanted this man who's very successful, got all this money, but these women, it's majority, would not be like the type of woman that those kind of guys would be looking for. And I think
Mm.
that be a lot of people's problem. Now, I also need people to understand, like, while people might not like what he said, those people that called him voluntarily called. They
Yeah,
wanted that information. And I think that there was a certain type of person that would even call into him. These are people that are desperate for love, trying to figure out what the problem is. And even then, they wouldn't even accept the way he's saying, even though it was the truth. It was the truth. Like,
yeah,
I'm not, I'm not okay with like some of the fat phobic statements and all that. But again, body image is a lot. You want a P. Diddy, you gotta be looking like what P. Diddy looking for. And I'm not gonna ramble and go along with it, but I always feel like people always want more than they have to offer when it comes to relationships. And so they go on these unnecessary cycles of going through toxic situations, being used, being abused, being heartbroken, and they're going after the same kind of men and women and not realizing that the problem is them. You
yeah.
want somebody to spoil you and give you all this other stuff, but you can't even do that for yourself. So why in the world would he want to do that? Why would he be attracted to you?
You know what's so crazy? I say stuff like that all the time. I always tell people, I'm like, you want to attract somebody with money, but you're not even looking like you know how to manage money. You don't know. You
They
don't
looking
look.
for help.
Yeah, like you. It's almost like you looking for somebody to come save you instead of you trying to find somebody to meet you where you at. Like you ain't making no
Exactly.
money. You ain't looking like no money. You ain't working. You ain't got no hustle. You ain't like visibly doing something. Not saying that you have
Because
to
it seems
blast
like
it
the
everywhere,
easy
but
way out to find somebody.
yeah,
That's the easy thing. I ain't gotta do nothing. I just want somebody to come through and pay all these bills. And da 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 da.
yeah. But you ain't got
Yeah,
an offer. Nothing.
I just think that he struck nerves in people, but people don't like the truth. That's the reality. People do not like the truth, and not saying that he was telling the truth 100% of the time, but I do think sometimes he would be saying stuff that people need to hear. Like it's well, okay, well don't take his advice then, and be 2 years later wondering the same problem why you can't find a good man
Yeah,
or a good
I
woman.
feel it.
But
Dang.
yeah, and I also feel like he to me he didn't bring necessarily harm to people. He definitely responded to his audience, and I also know if anybody, I mean, I did watch his material, not all of it, but he definitely treated men the same way. But I think that, honestly speaking, that women are more openly desperate for love, and so they
Yeah,
are going to be the ones that call in and get these results versus men who probably have a little bit more pride, still trash, but won't want to put themselves out there and
yeah,
get help. And he also did private consultations. The ones that we would see on the internet were the ones that were done for free. So all I'm saying is you might not have been happy with what he had to say, but it's probably because he was saying a lot of stuff that you're dealing with too, that you need to fix. I think that also, even though he could be rude on many occasions that I've seen, I think sometimes his clips were taken out of context. And I also feel that people should be allowed to have redemption. I think it's very strange that people think that because he spoke the way he spoke to people, that he deserved to die, because we literally all are gonna die.
yeah,
And he lived longer than we have gotten to make it. So we don't know, we might make it to 65, 56, however old he was. And I also feel like so if you don't know, heart disease, if not, is one of, if not the number one killer of black people. And this man definitely died from a heart attack. So it's not like he got killed from a client that was unhappy with what he said. He died from something that's killing us. So it's just, I don't know. I just think it was weird energy around it. It was very strange. I don't think I've seen that at all ever for anybody in pop culture.
yeah. No, it was real
Rest in
weird.
peace, Kevin Samuels. They absolutely need to get themselves up out their behind, get a better job, clean up, do their hair, take care of themselves before they think somebody gonna do that for them. Your legacy lives on, brother.
And Jackie O said that.
Yeah, but no, I do get it. But I also feel like a lot of people have unrealistic expectations of life, and we said it a lot on here. But it's the truth. People keep chasing the same thing, expecting different results. You know what that's called? People insanity.
Mm. One thing about Alicia, she gonna drag everybody but
And
God.
let me tell you
Anywho,
something. Oh, it sure will. And let me tell you something. I'm not exempt from feedback, but I also am very realistic with myself, and I also know that I'm that girl.
oh,
Top two and not two. Anyway, so what you got for the shop talk?
um, so what do I have for shop talk? Of course, if you know me, you know it's giving YSL.
Oh my sister actually asked me. She was like, "How Draco feel about Young Thug getting locked up?"
Man, so this was so random.
Was it? Well, yeah, I guess
It
so.
just came out of nowhere. I mean, I think we all kind of knew like what it was something going on, especially if you're from Atlanta. You know, it's some street stuff
Yeah,
going
it's
on.
been a
It's been
and
going
that's why.
on
Ooh,
forever.
I'm gonna let you go.
Nah, it's been going on forever, but I ain't know that it was just gonna go down like this. Like this is
Mhm.
insane. Like they done the feds did a sweep in real life. Like a sweep. I ain't never seen a broom that big in my life.
Okay, all
Um,
right.
but no. How do I feel about it? I haven't even thought about it. I don't know. It's just too much going on at one time. Like then I got the whole YSL locked up. Then Lil Keed dying a few days later.
Oh my god, which I
It just was
thought
too
was
much.
yeah, I agree. Yeah, I definitely was shocked to hear the whole YSL pretty much got arrested, but I also wasn't shocked because if anybody's from Atlanta especially, it's been a lot going on with YFN and YSL for years, but especially in the last few months. So it's
Yeah,
like and I think it's interesting when I listen to other podcasts and people talking about it. I think that people, and this is not no like police type of statement, but I think people genuinely think that those are just record labels.
yeah,
And so I think that that's where their understanding of it ends. And regardless of what their affiliation is outside the music industry, it definitely was some stuff going on. And I don't want nobody to go to prison, but I also don't want people be getting caught in crossfires of people's beef. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, for sure. Because
it's
that's
just
exactly what has been going on. It's like
mhm.
it's been unsafe. I blame Birdman.
Really? You think he started all this?
I don't think he started it, but I feel like he's one of the reasons why it escalated to where it is. Just because when he stepped, I mean, people. The thing about it is when people have excessive amounts of money, they go straight to the hood. They flash it in front of people
Recruit.
who are easy to be manipulated. And Young Thug was definitely one of those people. I mean, if you watch him in the front of his in the front of his career, you will know he wasn't the smartest person. I mean, that's just me being honest. He wasn't the smartest person. He picked him up. Of course, this man promised him all this type of money, and then of course he reeled him into the beef that he had with Lil Wayne, and from that moment, it just kind of, they had built a relationship. Because I always wonder, I'm like, why was Birdman being crucial and all this other stuff all the time? Like, he not from Atlanta.
Yeah.
So it was just like he just was. It just seemed like he was just running the streets trying to find people to bring in and be a part of something, and then he using Young Thug as like,
I never thought about that. Now I know that Thug was always on, but you feel like Birdman is the one to amplify. I never thought about it,
yeah,
but he
I,
was on
I
Rick
do,
James.
and I feel like he used that because he knew how much Young Thug loved Lil Wayne too. That it was
People
like,
was
oh
literally y'all. If you're not from Atlanta, before Thug was anybody, people always compare him to Lil Wayne. Like I
yeah,
remember hearing that he was like a Lil Wayne wannabe. Like I remember in Thug, this was like years before people really knew who Young Thug was on the mainstream music scene.
Lil Wayne hated him,
That's so
hated.
crazy.
He hated him. So it was just the fact that he would always speak highly of him in interviews and stuff like that. But we didn't know what was going on behind the scenes, especially with
Yeah.
Birdman involved. That could have been a part of the ploy. Like, oh, I love him, and then of course like the way he looks, the way he rap, everything was just Lil Wayne resemblance to me. So I think that's probably why I got attached on because I was a real Lil Wayne
I
fan.
never thought of the Lil Wayne alignment. I'm not gonna lie to you. I never understood it. I didn't get why people said it.
I think it's just because I always say all these rappers is Lil Wayne kids because Lil Wayne was like one of the first rappers that actually had that image, tattoos on his face with the piercings, the rocker look, like, and was an
And you know
actual
what?
rapper.
My perception of Lil Wayne is always the hot boy's face. So I guess it's hard for me to look outside of that.
Yeah, I mean, but yeah, but I mean, like that generation though, coming up, they saw that Lil Wayne, like when he had the lit rings and he was making rock music, wallet chains, gloves, everything. You know what I'm saying? So now, if you look at people like Playboy Cardi, Lil Uzi, Young Thug, all these people, they have that image. They have that same image. Now it's different because it's like we in a different time, so the styles are different, but it's all trickling back, in my opinion, to that era of Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne is like here to them. So I
Yeah,
don't know,
dang. I never
but
thought about it.
it's all a mess. I do feel like I'm gonna be honest. It's just me from the outside looking in. I do feel like I don't think that Gunna had a lot to do with it, only
Yeah,
because
you know how they do though those RICO. Like if people don't already, if y'all don't already know, RICO charges really stem from the mob era or the mafia or whatever the case is. Because in those type of organized crime situations, they it's really hard to get to the boss. So they had created this process to pretty much take out the whole crew, so they could get to the boss. And I think that's what really happened. I mean, they arrested 28 people. I'm pretty sure they just want Thug. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
I
I
don't
do
know.
feel
We
like
ain't
that's
getting
probably
that
why Lil
album, I
Keed
guess.
overdosed too, because he probably thought they was either coming for him next, or he was just really depressed about Lil Wayne. But I mean, not Lil Wayne,
About the
about
yeah, when
Thug.
I heard about Lil Keed, I thought that he got killed, like shot.
Me
I
too.
thought that something happened like that. But when they was hush hush about it, and I heard he had um
Overdose on codeine.
liver or kidney, I'm like, oh, he must have been leaning.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and they
it's
all
so
had this,
sad.
and that's so crazy because all of them went through that. Because I know Thug almost died from that,
I remember.
and Gunna.
It's
Man,
really
put the lean
sad. When
down.
you sit and think about it, these people have, I'm always really proud of people that can make it out the hood or people that can find a way to legitimize their money. But I do wish that it was easier for people to find that fame and success and leave the streets alone. But I understand it's not that simple.
It ain't.
Because situations like this, to me, could have been avoidable. Like, Thug always had a lot of respect in the streets, even when he was really, really young. So maybe he felt like, as a leader, you can't really let go of that. I guess I don't know, but I worry about little baby too, cause I'm like,
Dang, because
he's
they definitely put his. I was reading, look at the little papers. They definitely had 4PF on there.
OPF. I'm not surprised. And this new DA, she really, to her, she just want to break it all up. So I don't know. I know that these people still be involved in the hood. And I mean, I get it. I go to Campbellton all the time. And I'm not a street person. Like I don't be in the streets. But you don't just cut your people off. I get it. But I do
Yeah,
wish that there was a way to kind of save them. Like I know they putting money in their people pockets and all that, but I'm talking about as far as like the crime and all that. I just wish they didn't have to go that route. I guess that's really what I'm saying.
yeah.
So now two of our favorite rappers, because I love Lucci. He probably ain't coming home. Thug probably ain't coming home. And it's not impossible that they can beat it, but only person I know to beat the Rico case was DJ Drama. So y'all better holler at him. And he was selling CDs.
Oh my God. Yeah. Hopefully,
Anyhow,
Gunner can
you
get
know,
off at least.
say it again.
I said hopefully Gunner can get off at least.
Yeah, I'm sure he will. They don't want Gunna. They want the leader. They want the leader of Young Slime Life. All right.
And Stoner life.
All right. So also something that happened during the time that we were away, Kalani went on the Morning Hustle morning show. So basically, y'all, if you don't already know, Kalani identify as they and she. And so I think that, in this era, there is still some, I guess people still don't really understand it or they don't know how to properly approach people that have specific preferred pronouns. And so if you don't already know, The Morning Hustle is a morning show hosted by Headcrat L'Oreal. And now Lala Milan, if I'm not mistaken. Now I don't listen to morning radio, but I am a really big fan of L'Oreal. And I listened to Headcrat when he was on the Ricky Smiley morning show. To me, they are some good people. They always have really positive shows and things like that. And L'Oreal, she could be a little slick at the mouth, but I am a big fan. So anyway, long story short, Kaylani was on their morning show and she was not in a good mood or she had some sort of attitude for what it seemed before the interview even started. And so they released the interview anyway. And then shortly after this interview, Kaylani announced that she was no longer doing any more press or any interviews and things like that. Now people was like, dang, what's going on? And did you see this?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. And so the Morning Hustle addressed it basically like, hey, this is what happened. Kaylani came on here on this show. She was an hour and a half earlier than we expected her to record. Now, morning shows, they be having to be on radio like 4, 6 o'clock in the morning. So I don't know what time they schedule an interview, but that's what happened. But in the earlier, so she was annoyed by that. And then when the interview actually started, Head Crack, I don't really know why he said this, but he was just kind of like, she is here, she is they. It was just weird. I feel like, and I'm only saying this because I feel like I've over several years I really gotten a chance to like see his character. I think that he was just trying to like loosen up the awkward the tension in the room. I don't really know, but I think that she was really offended by how he did her greeting. And it just really ruined the whole interview. And I feel like they tried to fix it, they tried to clean it up, but it was a done deal. But she definitely started that interview off with an attitude. And I just thought it was weird. I feel like I don't really know Kaylani to be that way. So I don't know if it was some more stuff that we didn't see, but I don't know. I just was curious enough if you've seen it and what your thoughts were.
Um, I just feel like when I watched it. Let me just start off that way. I did watch it. I think that for me, I just felt like if I was in that position, I probably would have felt the same way because me being a person in the LGBT community, being in a room with certain people, and they're verbally telling you like, oh, I fully support you. You got my support. Blah blah blah. But sometimes the way they speak on it or speak to you, it can be very uncomfortable, and then it make you not even want to talk to people. Like I've had people to bring up like certain things about feminine gay boys because, and at one point in time, I used to wear makeup. I wore lashes. I wore, you know what I'm saying? Like that was me. So in my head, I'm like, well, I used to be like that. So you talking about this person is not making it, you trying to make it seem like, oh, basically, you're not like the rest of them because you don't dress like this, you don't act like this. And I'm like,
Hmm.
that's not, I don't, just because I don't look like that don't mean I'm not offended because I got people that do that. And then I used to do it. So I think it was in the sense of like they was trying to be quote unquote um,
Allies.
inclusive and
Yeah, yeah.
allies and stuff like that.
It
But
was definitely came because when I heard what Headcrash said, I'm like, yeah, I don't think he meant any harm, but I can
yeah,
also see how that could have been said. But I feel like she was being funny even before that. So that's why I'm like, was it the time thing? I don't know. But they also brought up an example where she went on Big Boy's show and he did the exact same thing and she was cool with him about it. Like it wasn't like,
yeah.
so
They
I
already
don't
had a
know.
prior relationship. That was the
Exactly.
problem.
I
They had
agree
a prior
too.
relationship, so she knows him, and she don't really know them. And then like, um, what's her name? The lady that was on the show,
L'Oreal.
L'Oreal. So she started like trying to get tea. Like, oh, did you have sex with SZA?
Yeah, that was. I was like, now that was out of line. Now that was after the fact, but that was still. I'm like, now L'Oreal, but I feel like L'Oreal, she's the type like, all right, well, you want to act funny, I'm finna just make it real. I'm finna be hilarious.
Yeah. Nah, yeah, nah, I feel it, but I don't think it should. I don't think that she should have went and like went off like that after. I don't know. I know she had to save her face because Kaylani did speak out like, "Oh, I'm not doing no more interviews" because it was like very invasive, da 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 da. But I feel her. Like I don't know. I feel her to a certain extent. I think you just have to kind of watch who you go because she just did the Breakfast Club. She was cool on there, and they very
Yeah,
invasive.
but I do now. No offense, 'cause I do feel like Kaylani is a little emotional, but she's so that's okay. But I'm just saying the way she handled it, I don't know, and I can't tell people how to respond to stuff. But I take her as somebody that can speak up, when they not okay with something. I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah.
I felt like I definitely understand the discomfort, but I do feel like the way she carried on the interview, the rest of the interview was just like, all right, girl, why you just go, just leave.
Nah, I probably would have left. I hate being in like situations where I'm feeling uncomfortable and I have to force myself to be there.
And on top of that, if your issue was with Head Crack saying what he said, L'Oreal didn't start off being weird. So it's like you gonna treat
Yeah,
everybody like that?
yeah. No,
Yeah, I don't
I feel
know.
it.
Anyway, whatever. All right. You got anything else you want to add?
Um, I mean, obviously the mass shooting, but
Oh my God. I don't.
I, this. I feel like this conversation is repetitive. Each time it happens, the same. It's the same thing, and it's so sad because, in my opinion, I just feel like nothing is ever gonna be done for real. You
Yeah,
know
and
what
I
I'm
don't.
saying?
It's just so yes, y'all. There was a shooting in Buffalo by an 18-year-old man, not little boy. He's a man, a grown man who decided to make a decision to kill people. He basically intentionally went to the blackest zip code near him and killed several innocent people, a lot of older people, which is just so heartbreaking, because of I don't even want to talk about it. It's actually really annoying.
It is.
I'm really sick of it. I just really hate that people try to deny the racism in this country. And then stuff like this happens. And it's like, you think you expect the racism to come from like the old, not, I don't want this to come out the wrong way. A lot of the more racist visuals that we see come from like the older people. A lot of people who were living during like, civil rights movement or Jim Crow era. A lot of them are still walking this earth, but this man was 18 years old. And obviously he was influenced by something. And I guess
Yeah.
to me, it's like I think people think that as time goes along,
And
that
people
things
grow
will
out of
be,
it.
yes, but that's not the case. And I feel like, especially with the access to media and the conspiracies that people are able to put out and the news that people having these extreme racist views, it really does influence people that are, number one, young and impressionable, whose life revolves around the internet. And it's easy to, it's just I don't know, it just is heartbreaking. That's all. And it's unfortunate there was another shooting the day after that. Like, I just feel like these type of things, it always is a chain reaction. And I don't ever want to feel like I'm not safe going to the store or going to church or going outside. It's just like, I just I should be able to go to the grocery store with no issues.
That's like one of the reasons why I don't go to the movies no more is because I really think that somebody gonna come in there and open fire in there.
Let me tell you something. Literally, ever since that one time in Colorado during the Batman movie, I have always thought about a shooting in the movie theater. Like, ever since that happened, I'm like, I don't even want to go to the movies. I'm looking at every person that's, because sometimes people be in there, people be standing up, they be walking, pacing. I'm like, "All right, I gotta go. I gotta go. I
Yeah.
don't. It's just too much. Like, why should I be worried about that? Why should I be thinking about that? It's just too much.
Freeze me on the movies. I'm bringing back Freeze Me. I guess somebody over there stating the obvious still, and you.
Yeah, I'll tell you. It ain't nothing deep, but sometimes when I edit, I be forgetting to take a piece out, and I don't want to blast this person, and then it be still on here. Okay. Not sometimes when I be editing, but it's happened before and I don't want it to happen. All right. So, let's get into this week's episode. So this is something that sparked that so when Kevin Samuels, the news first circulated that he passed away, it definitely put a thought into my mind about, like, when I leave this earth, like, what do I want people to say about me, or what do I think people would be saying about me? Because I think that because of the way that we knew him and his unfinished work, I guess, because I do think he had a long, basically, we don't know when our last day is coming, right? And so
Mm-hmm.
it could be before we become our best version of ourselves. But because we have not become the best version of ourselves, whatever version of us it was when we leave this earth is people's lasting impression, right? Kevin
Mm-hmm.
Samuels could have been a literal hero before we got to know who he was, but because of the era in his life that we met him, he left a bad taste in people's mouths. So I was just curious to know, like, as of how your life is today and right now, are you proud of the impression that you've left on people?
Oh, for sure. I think that for so long I was so hard on myself because I just didn't like people to have like the wrong impression of me or like think the wrong things about me. And then like over the last couple of years, I just stopped really caring because I realized that for one, I ain't perfect, nobody else is, but I'm. It's not like I do things that are that bad to where people could just have all these. I mean, people gonna like you, dislike you over the
Yeah.
smallest things. I mean, that's life. I don't care, but I think that now I'm a pretty good person. I try to treat people to do right by people, do right by myself. I ain't perfect. I definitely do some shit that's just a little. Sometimes I be working on my own. I be working on it, but
Like
I
what?
do feel like I've really I have patience, a lot of patience with certain things, but with people sometimes I don't, cause I just be feeling like people just be slow, and
People do be slow.
and I'm like, there's no way that you could think like that. Even though I know it's possible, but in
These
my
are
head I'm
also
like,
my
that
thoughts.
ain't what the fuck is wrong with you. That's how I be wanting to respond to it. I'm like, you really have rocks as brains. I don't know.
Also
I
me.
don't know.
Also the problem.
I don't know. I don't even be. I just sometimes I
But
just look
I
at them.
think that, okay, yeah, so I also have those. So I am very proud of the life that I'm living. I've always been really proud of my life decisions. I'm just gonna say that. But I do think that one of my most proudest attributes is that I am not like a bad person to people. Like I don't take advantage of people, and I don't like mislead them. You know, people really are out here finessing, and they don't really care who they finesse. Like people that die that are killers, you be like, well, they killed a lot of people. It was only a matter of time before somebody got to them. Or if people are stealing and they get stolen from, it's like, well, karma, karma, karma. But whenever I've gone to a funeral and I know the person was jacked up, and people go out there and they have their nice little way of describing it. So if somebody was like a robber, they'll let's say somebody was a robber, they scammed or whatever, they be like, all he wanted was to take care of his family and all this
Was
stuff. Like,
it? Was it?
and
Was
I
it?
always think like, why I don't know. I don't know. I just think the Kevin Samuels thing just really had me thinking about like what just what the type of impression I want to leave on this earth. Like I want to be talked about in the correct way or in the way that I actually live my life. So I don't know. It just had me thinking about it all week. Like I know he probably had other plans that he wanted to do that maybe could have cleaned up his image or whatever. Because I think he realized, the way he was doing business before was working, but when he started really honing in on that niche, which was his desperate women audience, that's when he took off. And
Yeah.
I think that he really capitalized off of that and really focused on that, which didn't sit well in other people's mouths or minds. And because of that, when he passed away, they felt like, one less misogynist was on this planet. So I don't know. I just always want to do right by people and live my life in a way that is conducive to happiness and success. And God forbid, well, it's gonna happen. But whenever God decides to take me on the glory, I just want to be proud of the impact I've left, and I want people to be glad that I was in their life.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I need to. I think over time, like I think because of the type of person that I used to be and the things that I used to do and how people used to always look out for me, in situations where I'm like, damn, they didn't really have to do that just because I got myself in this situation. You know what I'm saying? Like, so people, I always feel like it's my job to kind of return that sometimes to people, but also I need to learn to be fair to myself because I think I'm just too nice. Like, I let people not necessarily run over me, but I be feeling bad for people. I'm like, you know what?
But do you think
I
that's a
can do
reflection of
this.
poor character, though? I mean, honestly, because I think that if
No,
people,
but I think
yeah,
I think for me in my head it's just my conscience like, well, when you had this going on, somebody did this for you, so why you can't return it? You know what
I
I'm
mean, how many
saying?
times do you have to return favors, though?
That's the part. That's why I said I need to be fair to myself.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Because I don't care. That was 2006. It's 2022.
you're right. It was actually 2011, but
Okay.
you know, who's counting? You know,
No, I feel you. I don't know. I do think that I am very zero tolerance with people, but I don't have a problem with that. I just need, people need to know I'm gonna leave you where I found you. But I don't think that that is a reflect because I don't think I'm ever unfair with how I cut people off.
yeah,
So if they have now, I have unfortunately though I have lost people that I was not cool with when they passed away, and it has bothered me. But I also felt like the reason why we weren't talking anymore was justified. But I also don't want I'm sad that that person has passed away. But the only thing I can think of is the last time I talked to them was because I told them to kick rocks with open toe sandals on. And it's like, dang, what
that
am I?
is true. That's true.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, but I also feel like you shouldn't allow certain people to be a certain way to you because of that and only that, because people are not entitled or obligated or always deserve to be in your life. But it is something I think about. Like I think that ideally, when if I have to stop talking to people, I think that it to make me feel better about if they ever left this earth is to have a open and honest conversation with them about something that bothered me and that it just has to end there. But people ain't always open to that. So you just
Yeah,
got to cuss them out one good time and leave them alone.
yeah. Um, I ain't doing all that though. I ain't finna waste my energy on that. I'm getting older. I don't need all them wrinkles and stress marks on my face. You just getting cut off. It is what it is.
Period. Me too. I sleep peace. My pillow is so soft and they ain't full of tears either.
My leather's so soft. I don't know about yours.
Okay, Lil Wayne, you need to pick a side. Is you slime or you
Slime, cause that's
skateboard?
slime too. Now,
Anyways, yeah, I don't know. That was just heavy on my mind because I'm just like, dang. And I also was hearing that he didn't have the best relationship with his kids or with his family. And it's just so interesting because while I feel like I liked a lot of stuff he was saying, I'm pretty sure he had a lot of issues in his life that he needed to straighten out as well. So it's just,
Oh, for sure.
live a life that you'll be proud of, man. For
Yeah,
real.
you ain't never lied, boo.
Work hard. Tomorrow is not promised. You literally could literally not make it to see next week. And as morbid as that might sound, it is a true reality.
Yeah, I
We
feel
fighting
you.
against racism, physical health, mental health,
Global,
poverty,
global climate
climate change. I mean,
change.
literally. So it's like live, be your best version today, tomorrow. Treat people how you want to be treated, and don't expect anything without any effort. Really, and
And
that's
fuck
it.
whoever ain't with you on that. To be honest, I mean that is what it is. You ain't gotta be okay with what I'm saying. Just don't be around me.
Move around.
Go around me, bitch. Um,
Well, all right. Let's go ahead and wrap this thing up. I got such a jam packed weekend, man. I got a jam packed tomorrow. I got it's just so much. It's
yeah,
hard.
same. So, what I was about to say? Oh my God, this ain't got nothing to do with nothing. But I thought this was so crazy. So, I went in my Ring app. One of my neighbors. I don't know if it was in my building or I know it's close. Somebody has stole their parrot, their pet parrot. So, this happened like 2 weeks ago, and I'm like, this.
Wait, from inside their house? What? How, I
Yeah,
don't understand.
yeah, from inside the house.
So they broke in, or they somebody they knew?
Somebody broke in and stole their parrot.
Mm.
So I'm like, that's so random. Like, why would somebody steal a parrot? So earlier, I'm driving to my client. I'm halfway asleep because I woke up. So I ain't woke up that early, but I was just tired today. I'm driving. I stopped at the light, like literally pulled out my parking lot. I'm driving at the light. So I'm just up. I'm looking. I'm like, that man ain't got no parrot on his shoulder. It was a homeless man sitting outside with a parrot on his shoulder.
Not that your
Big ass.
neighbor parrot.
I said, that's definitely her bird. That's definitely a
Oh,
bird. I started
did
to take
you
a picture
tell
of
her?
it. I don't even know. It was on the app. I don't know. I don't even know how to go back to it because stuff be happening
Just
every
go.
20 seconds.
Yeah, but oh well. I mean, if you really want to find out, you can search in the neighbors app. It's the neighbors app.
Oh, I'm scared of the app. I ain't got that on my phone.
It's on the Ring app too. It's part of it. That's where you got that's where you got the alert from.
I was like,
Oh my god. Well, how did he get the bird though?
he probably stole it. I mean, these people are like strung out on drugs. You
And
have
he
to
just
see
gonna
it
have a parrot, bruh.
right here.
Can parrots fly like pigeons?
I don't know. It was on his shoulder though, and it didn't move, so like it was his friend or something.
Boy, animals know they got some loyalty. Hayes, if you ever do that, it's hurting for you. If I ever see, let me tell you
Oh
something.
my
He
god!
belong to me.
But nah, I've been on my sweatsuit thing. I've been buying all these hoodies and stuff because I got a long summer
And you
on
gonna
the
be hot
road.
wearing some darn sweatsuits.
On the plane, it be cold.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's the best. Ooh, man, I want to fly so bad. I don't even know where to go. Flights cost too much. What's going on?
Yeah, my friend having a baby shower. The last Memorial Day weekend, round trip flight from here to Atlanta. 780
That's crazy. And
from
people are
Burbank,
paying
which is
them
usually
really.
cheaper, is like $1,100. Where is that?
Yeah, man, I've been looking at the tickets to South Korea. They definitely talking about 2,500. So I
Yeah,
don't.
airlines going up. They hiring more people now because they got a lack of people. Anytime I go to a city that's really small, that my flight always get canceled because no flight attendants are available.
Yeah, it's a
Um,
labor shortage globally.
so it's just too
And they
much. Like
finally paying them for, flight attendants only get paid when the plane take off, which is sick because
yeah,
they be at the airport for hours. I don't
yeah,
understand that. But they're not getting paid for the whole time, but they are getting partial pay. But I mean, I guess it's better than what was going on before. But yeah,
yeah.
I want to,
I ain't doing so. I'm dealing with that. Um, I just need to clean up my apartment real bad. I need to do me a little laundry, a lot of laundry. I hate when my laundry gets stacked up, but I ain't been at home in probably like 2 months. I feel like
man, I got to go back to my house and paint.
you gonna paint it yourself.
Yeah, paint is easy. Just a
Period.
room, the whole bedroom. Paint is the one thing I will do.
Okay. Okay.
It's really easy and it's fun. It's quick too. It don't take like I can do a whole room in not even an hour.
Well, period. Save a room for me, just in case rent get too high.
No, for real. Look, if I gotta move, they gotta go. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm
You
just
know
playing. I
what's
would
so
never do that.
crazy? My when I stayed in Hayville, the property manager, she did that because she was like she gonna move back into the house because she lost her job at Delta.
I would only move in if the lease was up. I would never make them get up. Like that's
Yeah, no, no,
crazy.
no. When the lease was up, she was
Oh,
like,
okay.
"Yeah."
Yeah, I
So
mean,
we
hey,
was ready to
it
go
makes
anywhere.
sense.
That house was chopped. I
Well, I
hated
bet it's
that.
worth a lot of money now. I hope she still owned it.
She still got it. Was her parents' house. Like, she still got
Oh,
it.
okay.
I had just randomly was in the neighborhood one day and I drove past it. She don't added a whole balcony like on the back. She don't extended the house. It got
You
central
mad, huh?
air.
Because they ain't had it.
I ain't had none of that.
Yeah,
So
I need to get a
yeah,
couple more. I'm gonna have a. I'm yeah. Anyhow, all right. Let's wrap this episode. I feel like I really wasn't my best self this episode. I've just been like tired, but we're gonna keep pushing
let
on.
it ride. We human.
You do what I'm saying? We
Human.
Herman.
Human. I hate Herman.
Well, all right, y'all. It's been another episode of OD Podcast. Holla at your girl
I let your twirl.
and your word and your pearl and your curl.
Oh, okay.
Bye. Wow, don't hang up, but bye.
I'm not.